I've had a smartphone for over a decade now, maybe slightly more. And a lot of the time I justified that because it fueled my social life. There was a lot of opportunity that I would have probably missed out on if I had not been as connected as I was, if I didn't have access to social media and that sort of stuff. I probably wouldn't have been able to make friends or get as close to the people that I am close to as I would have otherwise. Now, I justified that, and I thought it was well justified because I think it fueled my life, and I've made some great memories from it. But as I get older, and I guess the value of my time now changes, where I'm not thinking too much in terms of my social life, but more in terms of just what I want to do with my own life and the scope of my goals. And because my goals are just bigger now, and to achieve them, they're probably going to take up more time. And to do all the things that I want to do as I get older and I adopt more responsibilities, things like family, work, health, and that sort of stuff become ever more important. And so my free time becomes, I guess, reduced in quantity. And the amount that's available to me, I don't want to throw that away on things that probably don't add much value to my life. And that's sort of why I've chosen to sort of give up my smartphone, because I kind of realized there were probably better ways to be spending my time. Now, my average screen time, that is, on my phone wasn't a lot. It was about 3 hours. 3 hours a day, maybe 4 hours some weeks. But generally, let's say 3 hours. And I did the math. 3 hours a day, if I'm awake for 16 hours, assuming 8 hours of sleep, that's about 18% of my day. And extrapolating that over the course of a week, a month, a year, that's 18% just gone. And I feel like that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time to be able to just throw that away. It's a very strange thing. And it's very strange because I threw it away unknowingly. Like, I have not had social media for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, almost 2 years at this point. I deactivated a lot of my accounts, and I didn't have them on my phone. But somehow my screen time is still 3 hours. So I have no idea. What I've been doing with my time whenever I'm on my phone. And admittedly, it's not all a waste of time. Like, I think being able to speak to friends, being able to speak to family, to organize events, organize outings, and being able to FaceTime like people that you wouldn't usually be able to see so readily, I think is a very helpful and a very nice thing to do. But honestly, that would probably make up about half an hour of my screen time. And I think that's being slightly generous. But let's say half an hour of that screen time every single day was just dedicated to speaking to people. I had no idea where the rest of the 2.5 hours were going. I think perhaps it was just, there's too much availability, like me just Googling random things or watching random YouTube videos and just not being able to be intentional with the time that I was spending on my phone. And I think because it's too easy. It's too easy to, once you're on it, to have access to all these other things. And once you have access to all these other things, why not do it? Because it's just so easy. It's just there. It's omnipresent. So you might as well, just to save you from doing something else or from any sort of boredom you might be experiencing at the time. Now, I did have three main apprehensions going to this. And the first one was just maps and navigation. And that's generally because I've been so reliant on Google Maps to just help me get around. Like, I've never had to be sort of, self-sufficient. Like, I've never had to, ever since my social life began, I've had my phone with me. Like, I could just Google wherever I was going and rely on that to direct me as and when. Like, I've never had to just sit down, try and memorize a route, or trying to sort of make up a route as I was going, to look at signs, to look at bus routes, to look at the tube map to sort of find my way around. I've never had to do that. So that was kind of my first main concern. And I kind of figured that, I've been in London my whole life. the odds of me not being able to find my way around were quite low, especially because in most weeks I was frequenting the same places. I wasn't going to anywhere too novel, right? I've experienced, I guess, 80% of the places in London that I would, in terms of the areas that I am most likely to go to. And because of that, I sort of, I guess, self-consolidated myself in the fact that I would be fine. And in the last few weeks, I haven't gotten lost. There has been a bit of nervousness that I've maybe turned the wrong corner, or I was heading in the wrong direction. But inevitably, I've always ended up there. Like, I've never gotten lost or never gone astray for more than perhaps a couple of minutes, taking an early right turn or something. So that's been going pretty well. And there is a bit of like a dopamine hit that you get when you, just before you leave the house and you have to memorize the route, and then you eventually get there and you have somehow memorized a 45-minute route. It's a small thing, but it's a thing that I've never experienced before, so it's quite nice that I was able to sort of achieve that, and that I continue to achieve that whenever I'm going anywhere nowadays. So that's always been quite nice. The second big thing is WhatsApp. So WhatsApp has been my main form of communication, again, since my teenagehood, and to not have that, I was kind of scared, because what if I do need to get in touch with someone? And I figured I could always call people, even though it's not a very common occurrence anymore. People don't just call people. It's always a sort of text message, right? And the phone, like my dumb phone that I now have, also has text, but it's like people just don't like SMS text, they use WhatsApp. And that's why I was like, it would be a very strange thing to begin doing. But then I sort of realized when I was like reading up WhatsApp and that sort of stuff, like in terms of trying to be a bit more methodical about how I can use it. So WhatsApp actually synchronizes with your computer for up to 14 days without the actual phone being turned on, that WhatsApp is tethered to. And that's pretty good, because that only means that I have to turn on my phone once every 14 days, or within that 14-day window for it to resync. And that means when I'm on my computer, I can still speak to people as I normally would. And when I'm off the computer, and the moments in between those, I can sort of experience that sort of mindfulness that I wanted going into this exercise. I say exercise, it's been a few weeks, so it's probably more of a lifestyle change at this point. But yeah, that did offer me some sort of comfort in knowing that I would still have access to WhatsApp, and I would still be able to sort of manage those conversations and those group chats and that sort of stuff that have been ongoing for quite some time now. And in the worst case scenario, I would be able to like just text and call people normally if I needed to get in touch with them. And even though it's not a thing that people frequently use anymore, like I think within my circles, as people become more accustomed to what I'm trying to do, I don't think it would come as a surprise to them. And the third main thing is music. So I've had some sort of passive stimulation through audio. Again, since I got my smartphone, I've had music, I've had Spotify, I've had podcasts, I've had audiobooks. And this one was the most like bizarre one to me, because I didn't know how to sort of rewire my thinking to help me justify it to myself. Especially during workouts and exercise, because you need music to get you going, right? It gets your adrenaline pumping, gets you a bit more motivated. It's just nice to listen to music when you're like exercising. And yeah, I had no way of justifying this one to myself. This one was just something I was just like, you know what? Let me just try it out. If I can do without it, that'll be cool. If I can't, will it convince me to get the smartphone again? I don't know. But I'll deal with that bridge when I come to it. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. And yeah, it's been a few weeks. I work out nearly every single day. I've been perfectly fine. So turns out I didn't need it. I've been able to read on commutes a lot more. Like my reading rate has increased quite substantially now. The workouts, yes, they're a bit more difficult to sort of manage and to get myself motivated to actually like push the weight or pull the weight or to run the extra mile and that sort of stuff. But you know, as a great man once said, music is cheating anyway, so.
A lot of motherfuckers don't know how to self-motivate, man. Like, we like to put the headphones on,
Yeah.
like before the big game and listen to the music.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do when the headphones come off, bro? It's you in your own mind.
Right.
I know how to do that.
I think it's completely okay. I think I'll manage. The last few weeks have been quite a nice experience. It's not been too daunting at all. I've had significantly more free time to just focus on the things that I want to focus on. And I think the biggest benefit that I realized was not the extra time, because the phone is like a time vortex. You don't really know where the time goes, and you don't really know what else you would put the time into, because I found that the behavior with the smartphone was just fragmented attention. It's like I would always be doing something else and be on my phone simultaneously, or I would be doing something else and then get distracted for 10-15 minutes and then go back to what I was doing. And that's the main difference that I feel, is that I can solely focus on the thing right in front of me for a good 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. That's not true. For like a good couple of hours before I need a break. And I think that having the ability to not fragment my attention in that way, I think is the nicest benefit that I've found. I'm able to sort of watch a movie now without looking at anything else except the movie, especially when I'm at home. And I finally understand why in cinemas they ask you to turn your phone off and put it away. It's because it really enables you to sort of get engrossed in the thing that you're watching. And likewise with my work, whenever I'm doing anything or some sort of task, it's just I can focus on it for a couple of hours and really get into the problem, really get into the thing that I'm working on. And as a result of that, I find the resolutions to what I'm doing significantly more quickly. And I think I just feel better about the work that I'm doing now, because I'm able to be way more engaged in the work that I'm doing. And simultaneously with other things, I think being able to sort of push myself in workouts, using my own volition and not some sort of external music and that sort of stuff. Even though I haven't noticed a huge benefit in terms of like a lifestyle change, it's nice to know that I can still push myself without needing the music and that sort of stuff. And I think that's the really nice thing. It's just being able to sort of be present with the thing right in front of you and not have to split your attention between two different mediums at the same time. Wow, the sun really came out, didn't it? And additionally, another point is that I enjoy having a dedicated space where I can utilize a lot of these like internet-based things, like going to a computer, going to a laptop and doing what I need to do and then being able to shut it off and then go about my day. And I really enjoy that element of it. I don't have an omnipresent device anymore. I have a standard mobile phone that can make text or calls. This is actually Punked. It's by a Swiss company, a Swiss-based company. And so I originally did get the Nokia, but then I didn't really like the buttons because they were too small. And it has Tetris and Snake on it, and I got really good at Tetris. And I was like, this is probably defeating the purpose because I shouldn't be some elite Tetris player now. So I returned it. And now this one has phone calls, text, and it allows me to mobile hotspot. So I have access to data if I need to use my laptop or something and I'm out and about. And I think that's, I'm really enjoying using this. But like I was saying, it's nice to have moments of being disconnected from the internet and having those moments in between where I'm sort of just in my own mind, in a good way, in a positive way, because I think it allows for a bit more introspection, a bit more time alone, just be alone with your thoughts and just like process the things that are happening around you and the things that you're doing. And yeah, just being more comfortable with just being yourself, I think is the biggest benefit that I've seen, other than not fragmenting my attention in the way it normally was. But yeah, I'm really happy with the sort of lifestyle changes that I've come to find in the last few weeks. And I may do a follow-up, a long-term follow-up. I do perceive myself to like make this a lifestyle change and to continue it into the long term. I think if I go abroad and stuff where I really need the internet, else I won't be able to find my way around, I will switch over to my smartphone again. I still have it. for the odd times that I do need it. But other than that, I do see this being a long-term lifestyle change. So I may do a long-term follow-up. But right now, I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad the last few weeks have gone well for me. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.